Namaste, everyone, and welcome to Anchor to Light. And the lesson today is quite simple. As always, we try to make it simple, clear, and easily applicable. So Confucius said, "A great man is hard on himself, a small man is hard on others." So I remember my teacher used to tell us to practice purification. Try to release the negative tendencies that we have, being lazy, dishonest, being hurtful with our thoughts or words or actions, or tendency to steal, take things that are not ours. And when we make mistakes, and all of us do, everybody makes mistakes, he actually says, be hard on yourself, but be extra kind and forgiving towards others. And oftentimes in this society, as you watch or go to social media, a big part of it is like, okay, I love myself. Okay, that's good. Unfortunately, there's that tone when you put so much emphasis on, I love myself, there's tendency to put ourselves above others. And that causes a person to be blinded by our own need to be validated. So one thing that I remember my teacher used to tell us is, always look within. When you see someone doing something wrong or doing something bad, instead of the first thing is to blame others or to criticize, first thing is to ask, I wonder if this person is a mirror to help me realize some things that I've not yet learned. And that's a very tough pill to swallow. That's why one of the things I love about my teacher's teachings, Grandmaster Tsokok Sui, when he was teaching a class called Inner Teachings of Buddhism Revealed, he has this topic called How to Deal with Difficult People in Our Lives. And essentially, what he taught was, and I'll just summarize it for the sake of time, if somebody has hurt us, let's say one day somebody was just nasty to you, started screaming, yelling, or doing something unpleasant, of course, short of beating you up, that's a different story. But when a person is unpleasant to us, instead of lashing out and being angry and say, hey, you're a jerk, you're useless, whatever, within us, a series of questions should be asked. And question number one is, and here's the keywords, is it possible? Okay? So let's say a person was not nice to us verbally. He said, is it possible that the reason this person is like this today is maybe they have an ailment, right? So, for example, if somebody has severe back pain or a bad headache, and we just happen to be in their line of fire when they're getting frustrated, maybe that's why they lashed out at us. Let's say you ask them, hey, by the way, where is that piece of paper? Or where's that contract? They go, what's wrong with you? Why can't you, find it yourself? And oftentimes we get angry right away, go, oh yeah, what the heck did I do? Then you ask yourself, is it possible, oh yeah, that this person has a history of having headaches or has so much on their plate, maybe they just kind of got stressed out. Okay? Another question. Same scenario. Is it possible that this person had a difficult childhood, difficult time at home, and so there's a built-in defense mechanism where when things don't go their way or people don't just harmonize with them, they immediately get aggressive. Is it possible? And you're just asking these questions before you start shooting out blame and ridicule. Another question you could ask, and I remember my teacher used to say, he goes, is it possible that this person is a mirror sent by God and the higher beings to show me what my weaknesses are? To go a little further, listen carefully, that part of mirror is also connected to karma. Is it possible that this person is not treating me right for God and the higher beings to wake me up, to let me realize I've done this to someone else in the past? Very painful pill to swallow. But when you really want to spiritually evolve, these are the things most people don't do. Instead of saying, oh yeah, why didn't you treat me right? and to actually go within and says, maybe I've done this to someone before. When I say before means could be a few days ago, a few years ago, could be a few lifetimes ago. We don't know. But the fact that we are humble enough to say, maybe this is being brought to my attention because I've done this to somebody else. And here's the important part, to prevent me from making an even bigger mistake. Now, I don't know about you. That's never been taught to me in school. That's never been taught to me by my parents. But a spiritual teacher will actually say, ask those difficult questions. It's part of growth. Things present themselves in our lives. Situation presents themselves in our lives. What we do with it will determine we grow or we, let's just say, slow down our progress. So somebody's not nice to you. The first thing you ask is it possible this person is having a bad day? Is it possible they have some pain in their body, that's why they're acting this way? Is it possible that there's so much in their mind and it was just happening? I happened to be standing in their way when they were feeling really pissed off and I just triggered it. Is it possible? You're just asking, is it possible? These questions are not for them. It's for you. It's for us. Then you go, is it possible that this person's having some crisis in their life that they're just holding it together just to work, not realizing they're about to explode, and we just happen to be there? So instead of feeling angry and upset with them, you know what happens? You start feeling compassion. I'll play a scenario for you. So let's say somebody is nasty to us, said something not nice, and then later on you found out, oh, by the way, this person just lost their dog. Or this person just had a terrible emotional breakup with someone. How would you feel? You'd go, wow, I wish I knew that. I mean, I'm assuming you are a kind-hearted person. You go, oh, I didn't know that, right? How many times has it happened? Oh, I didn't know that. Or, here's an example. I always share this example because it actually happened. Many years ago, I remember my older daughter was being picked up by my wife in school. And there was another student, a classmate, who did not have a ride. So, they live in the same vicinity. So our daughter just invited, hey, you want to come over? We'll take you home. And so on the way home, would you ask them, where do you live? Right? Where do you live? The person says, oh, in this particular city. Okay, we knew that already. They knew that already. They're just conveying the story to me that night, okay? So I was listening. My wife was telling me, yeah, she said in this particular city. And of course, when you get there, you have to ask, because the kid didn't know their address. And the kid goes, yeah, I think somewhere in that community over there. Okay, again, understandable. This was like third grade. And so they went through street after street. The kid goes, looks like that one. No, this one. And when both of them were telling me, they were almost like laughing. Can you believe this? A kid doesn't know where they live, don't know their address, and they were laughing. The kid was like, I don't know. I think it's that one or that one. And I was listening to this, and this went on for a few minutes, and both of them were almost like, I can't believe this kid. We're trying to take him home, and they don't know where they live and don't even know one street from the other. Anyway, eventually, of course, they found the house, and the child, got home. And so when they're telling me the story, I'm just quiet, listening, and I just ask, is it possible that this child has a developmental or learning disability? Now, the reason I ask that question is because, as most of you know, or some of you know, that our second daughter was diagnosed with autism when she was 4. And, with God and teacher's blessing, with healing, with everything else we threw at it, in 6 years' time, she's completely cured. And so because of that, I thought, is it possible that this child is acting that way because they're not well? And I remember the look on both their faces. My wife and my older daughter they look at each other like, oh, wow, maybe that's possible. And our daughter start saying, yeah, come to think of it, in school, she would just act really strange. She would just yell out of nowhere, or suddenly she'll run around and just misbehave. And we just thought that this kid is misbehaving. And then when we piece it together, we start to notice certain patterns that our younger daughter had a long time ago. Here's what happens. And the look on their face, instead of ridiculing the kid or kind of say, hey, what's wrong with this kid? They actually felt compassion. Oh, wow, you're right. Maybe we can do something to help this child. See the difference? Oftentimes, it's easier for us to just, like society does, oh yeah, you did this to me, let me do this to you. But as you spiritually develop, instead of putting blame or criticizing, first question we ask is it possible that this person is going through a tough time? Is it possible that this person has some ailment or brain chemical imbalance, that's why they're acting that way? Look at it this way. If we knew this ahead of time, if you know someone's talking to you as psychologically imbalanced because of some trauma or some head injury, you knew that ahead of time, would your conversation be different with them? I'll give you another example. One of the things I do, well, probably the only thing I do when I'm not teaching is I'm playing table tennis. That's one of my go around running, hitting a tiny little ball. So in this ping pong club I go to, everybody gets along, or, we scream, we yell, we run around, it's a fun time. And then now and then there's this guy who comes in. He's a decent player, but normally, when you miss the table and you hit the net or you hit the edge, which is accidental, you kind of be nice and be courteous, take the other person, oh, sorry, man. Right? You just do that out of courtesy because you didn't really earn the point. You got lucky and hit the edge of the table or hit the net, and so they couldn't catch the ball. And so this kid, I would say kid, he's probably in his 30s, won't do that. He'll just laugh at you or just ignore it. So people get irritated. And when he plays, he just, he doesn't cheat, but when he gets a point and he makes it, he just has this smug look on his face. So people get pissed off, right? After a while, a few of us were observing, wait. And we also noticed the mother is unusually protective. After watching for a while, we look at each other, we go, I think this person has some form of Asperger's or in the autistic spectrum. And the interesting part is, when that happened, we look at each other, and one of us, I even played him, we didn't get upset. We didn't get upset when he didn't do what he's supposed to do, or he hit the ball or another table played and their ball was on our table. You normally kindly pick it up and then give it to them so they don't have to come over. He would just ignore it. And that's bad etiquette. But after we had this realization, we were let's just put it this way, extra forgiving. Not that we're extra forgiving. It actually, we already walk in with that understanding that, hey, we should be kinder to this person because they might not be aware of it, but they are at a psychological, emotional disadvantage. Is it different? Or if you have a friend, let's say you have a friend approach you and they're angry, they're upset, and normally you go, hey, what's wrong with you? I didn't do anything. Then you realize, oh, they just had death in the family. What happens? You start noticing, yeah, it's understandable. So the point I'm trying to make is, when my teacher was teaching, he says, before we put the blame, before we criticize, we first look within. And then as we look within, we start to go, is it possible that this person is acting this way because, so you give them the benefit of the doubt. So we have a tendency to be kind to others. Now, the other side of the coin, which I mentioned earlier, is when people don't treat us well, and it's done intentionally, is to look within and say, I think there's still some tendency within me. Even so tiny, that's why karmically this happened to me. So I have to watch out for it. Or maybe this is just one of those blind spots I have And the great spiritual teachers are just kind of give you a little nudge so you can purify yourself and get rid of that negative quality. So if you look at this particular scenario, it can be summarized as be hard on yourself, as in really look within, and then if you have any mistakes, if you have any negative tendencies, to make a note, okay, in the past, I think at one point I did the same thing. Somebody was in my way when I was in a hurry because I was stressed out of mind, so I lashed out at them. Okay, noted. I won't do that again. Instead of saying, well, they were in my way, that's their problem. To actually be hard on ourselves and say, I make mistakes. And these things that are happening in front of me are either karmically a lesson that's being reminded me to learn, or to just kind of be aware that let me make sure I don't make these mistakes. And when it comes to other people, learn to forgive, learn to let go, and that's how we evolve. And in order to do that, let me share with you again, just in case you're just joining us, one of the things that my teacher always recommended, well, not recommended, depends who he's talking to. The general public, he'll just say it nicely. He won't even use these words. But to us that are closer students and disciples, he would say, practice ruthless self-honesty. If you screw up, admit it. Don't say, well, the planets are not aligned, or it's Mercury retrograde, or anything, but say, hey, I screwed up. Let me make it better. Hard pill to swallow. Because these days, I'm sure you've seen enough on social media, it's always like, hey, everything for me, I have to be acknowledged, blah, blah, blah. Everything's me, myself, and I. Self-love is good. Self-love is good, but self-obsession leads to spiritual degeneration. In fact, one of the ways you know a person is evolving, they have good self-esteem, but they focus more on being of service to other people. Just keep that in mind. So when I read this, I was meditating on it. A great man is hard on himself. A small man is hard on others. A small man simply means a person who has, let's just say, not evolved so much. So everything that goes wrong is somebody else's fault. Now, a person who's more spiritually advanced, even if they didn't do anything wrong, would say, let me watch out, let me make sure I do not make that mistake that this person is making as they deal with me. Very, very simple lesson. This also allows you to have the ability to sleep at night. You know why? Otherwise, there's a tendency to hold grudges or resentment. And I've shared this with you before. When a person is prone to anger, when a person does not release that anger because they hold on to it, anger degenerates into hatred. Okay? Now, instead of just being angry with a person, even if they didn't do anything, you have a tendency to be always biased against them. That's already signs of hatred. And if that's not released, it starts degenerating into vindictiveness. In other words, every little thing, you want to get even. And if that's not resolved or not released, it now starts degenerating into maliciousness. In other words, not only do you not like this person, not only do you not only hate this person, and you want to get even, then you start thinking of bad things to do to them. And if it's still not released, it leads to ruthlessness, like no holds barred, no holds barred. Even though I'm a good person, hey, but this person deserved it, so doesn't matter. You become judge, jury, executioner. Now, at that point, the soul is just backslid. In other words, all that namaste that we do to other people just went out the window. It always starts where? Anger. And anger usually happens when we don't understand. So if we understand, this is a lesson I need to learn. Maybe this person is going through some difficult time. Maybe this person has an ailment physically or psychologically. Okay. Learn to forgive, learn to let go. It also allows us to move on. Otherwise, you know what happens? Anger and hatred chains two souls together. How does it chain us? Think about it. If somebody has hurt us, how often do you think about them? It's playing in your head, right? You think, this person did this to me. It sounds on, you're so angry. And then, next person you meet, this guy, he did this to me. And you just kind of emotionally vomit on that person. Yeah. And then tomorrow, you meet somebody else. Oh yeah, this guy did this to me. A week later, you're still doing it. Over and over again. You don't realize you are now meditating on that person. And as the saying goes in ancient teachings, you become who you meditate on. The souls are now chained. That's that. And the longer we hold on to that, but you don't understand what it did to me, then the tighter the chain becomes. Now you're obsessed. And it just affects your entire consciousness. Now you don't have inner peace. You're constantly angry, and now it starts to destroy your own relationships. When the solution would have been so simple, and just say, maybe that person was not nice to me because, he just wasn't being careful. He's just a moment of weakness. Anyway, let the matter pass. All of us grew up anyway. I've had my share of stupid things I've done. Let the matter pass. So what happens? Instead of suffering for so long, you drop it, you move on with your life. I know it's not easy, but it's simple. Forgive, let go, and be happy. We cannot control what people do to us. We cannot control circumstances around us. But we have the ability to control and regulate how we perceive the situation, perceive people, the thoughts that we create, thoughts and feelings, the words that we use, and the actions that we do. That will determine you move on or you continue to suffer. Simple as that. And I share that story. I'll share this again because I know these stories I'm sharing with you a lot of times because for me, they're priceless. One time there's this guy, he had an appointment with my teacher. My teacher comes to the United States a few times a year. So his time is very tight. He has meetings, then he teaches class, he moves to the next city, and then next country, so on and so on. So this person scheduled an appointment in the afternoon. And so I was with my teacher in the hotel and then going, 10 minutes, not here, 20 minutes, not here, an hour something. And my teacher is not the most patient person in the world. At some point he goes, maybe he's not going to show up. Okay, let's go eat. So we left. I'm looking at him like, that's it? And I was fuming because I was thinking, don't you realize how tight the schedule is? You didn't even call. Anyway, make a long story short, the following day, we found out that he was in Disneyland with his girlfriend. He did not even apologize, didn't call, didn't nothing. And so I remember that night I was talking to my teachers. I said, Master, I can't believe this guy. I mean, how heartless can you be? And I was spewing out stuff. And I remember, oh man, you dumbass. You're doing this in front of your teacher. It just shows you how undeveloped you are. Anyway, make a long story short, he looked at me and goes, hey, everybody makes mistakes. Let the matter pass. That's it. He never spoke of it anymore. I'm going, that's it? He just dropped it? Well, I didn't tell him that. It'd be disrespectful. Then I watch him. That's what he does. things you don't have control over, let the matter pass. Move on. Sometimes there are people, that you make one mistake, they put a microscope on it, and then they keep reminding you over and over again. You make another mistake, then now they remind you the last 20,000 mistakes you did for the last 20, 30 years. Look at their life. Do you notice they're miserable? Because all they do is focus on what's wrong. And that traps them. And one of my favorite quotes, as the Buddha said, you are not punished for your anger. You are punished by your anger. Think about it. You are not punished for your anger because it's understandable. But if you hold on to that anger, you don't let go, you don't release it, at some point, the fact that you're feeling angry, guess what it does? It destroys you. That's it. It's very simple. So the lesson today is quite simple. I really love it. And when I was meditating and I go, I should remind myself. In fact, one of the reasons I love doing these is because it reminds me of what my teacher taught me for so many years. The screw-ups I have, which I can't even count. And it just reminds me, okay, let's not do that again. And one of the things that very easy to do is blame society, blame others for any shortcomings we have, anything that go wrong. It's always someone's fault. When in reality, all of them can be utilized as stepping stones to spiritual evolution. Even things that we have absolutely no fault in. You can say, well, I know it's not my fault this thing happened, but I will take responsibility and use it so that I will not make that mistake in the future. Ruthless self-honesty and extreme kindness towards others. That's it. So, to repeat, the great man is hard on himself, small man is hard on others. Let's meditate. Be aware of your crown. Repeat silently, I am that I am. I'm not the body, I'm not the emotion or the thoughts, I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, divine power. I am that I am. The soul, the spiritual self, a spiritual being of divine intelligence that allows me to regulate my thoughts, my mind. A spiritual being of divine love that allows me to regulate my feelings and emotions. A spiritual being of divine power to regulate my thoughts, my words, my feelings, as well as the movements and actions of this physical body. I am that, the thinker, the feeler, and mover. Be still. I am that I am. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spark, the divine spirit in me. I am a child of God. I'm one with God. I'm one with all. There is only oneness. So be it. Be still. Now open your hands in blessing. Be aware of your heart, your hands. Project love to the entire earth in front of you. Just visualize the earth the size of a little ball in front of you. We'll do a meditation twin hearts as taught to us by my teacher, Grandmaster Chua Sui. So be aware of your heart and your hands. Fill the earth with beautiful pink light. So much beautiful pink light from your heart through your hands. You can bless your home with pink light. Your workplace, your city, the country, just fill the entire earth with beautiful pink light. And we will use the prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi. To the universal spirit, Lord, make me an instrument of your peace, a channel of your peace. Wherever there's hatred, anywhere, within me, outside of me, let me bring forth, let me sow unconditional love. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. Where there's doubt, let me sow faith. Where there's despair, let me sow hope. First, think of the people we have hurt, intentionally or not. Just visualize them in front of you. Just silently say, to whoever I've hurt, in however way I've hurt you, I'm truly sorry. I've learned from my mistakes. I humbly ask for your forgiveness. And I forgive myself. To all who have hurt me, we are all children of God. Children implies lots more to learn, to grow. To all who have hurt me, we are all children of God. We are all growing and evolving. And evolution involves time, process, and lots of mistakes. I'm still learning from my mistakes. I've learned from them. So can you. To all who have hurt me, you are completely forgiven. Go in peace. And may you be blessed with inner peace and inner healing. And may you also spiritually grow and learn from your mistakes. So be it. So be it. May you be blessed with peace, love, and forgiveness. And so it is. Where there's doubt, let me sow faith. Where there's despair, let me sow hope. Let's just recall people going through very difficult times in their life, with their health, with their relationships, even their finances. Visualize their lives getting better and better. May they be blessed with hope and with faith and a better life. So be it. Where there's darkness, let me sow light. Darkness is the ignorance of one's true nature, that we're all beings of light. May all be blessed with spiritual light and spiritual awakening. And where there's sadness, let me sow joy. Just be aware of your heart. From your heart, visualize this beautiful pink light flowing through our hands, blessing the entire earth. Blessing all beings with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness, with hope and with faith, with light and lots of joy. So be it. So be it. Just be still. Now, be aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Be aware of your crown, the top of your head, and exhale. Now just stay there. Just be still. Be aware of your crown. Your crown is filled with so much golden light. Allow that golden light from your crown to slide down through your hands and saturate your home. All your family members, your loved ones, fill them with this golden light. Especially the ones you're not getting along with. Fill them with golden light, unconditional love. Let it spread to your workplace, your city, your country, all the countries in the world. Fill the entire earth with beautiful golden light. And just say, our hearts are one, our souls are one. From the center of the heart of all loving God, through my soul, through my entire being, may every person, every being on earth be blessed with love and with kindness. May all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. May all be blessed without exception. So be it. So be it. Just fill the entire earth with golden light. From the heart of God, may all beings be blessed with love, with kindness, and with peace. So be it. Now, be aware of your heart, your crown. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, imagine this golden light pouring out of your heart and your crown through your hands and saturating the entire earth. Fill the earth with intense, intense golden light. From the center of the heart of God, through my spirit, through my soul, through my entire being, may all beings in every dimension, every direction, be blessed with loving kindness. May all beings be blessed with inner peace, inner healing. May all be healed of any pain, sorrow, or suffering. So be it. May all be blessed with understanding, harmony, goodwill, and the willingness to do good. So be it. Just be still. Be aware of your crown, your heart, and your hands. Allow yourself to simply be a channel in a pipeline. Just fill the entire earth with intense golden light. So be it. Now gently lower your hands. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Just a few inches above your head, imagine a beautiful golden flame. The image doesn't have to be clear. It's there. Just imagine this beautiful golden flame above your head. Now be aware of the love within your heart. Send a stream of love from your heart up to the crown and into that beautiful golden flame. Stay there. Be aware of that golden light. Simultaneously be aware of that inner stillness. Maintain the connection of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Just look at that golden flame. Be still and listen. Allow your awareness just drift into that light. You're drifting deeper and deeper into that beautiful, brilliant, golden flame. Simultaneously be aware of the inner stillness within you. Be still. Be aware of the inner stillness. Be aware of the inner light. Simultaneously be aware of the pure nothingness. And just simply let go and let things be. Now. Just let go. Gently, slowly, Very gently and slowly. Move your fingers, move your toes. Gently and slowly come back. Raise your hands in blessing once more. Let's release the excess energies our bodies cannot fully absorb. First, picture the people you love in front of you. Fill them with this beautiful golden light. May all of them be blessed with good health, with much happiness, with abundance and prosperity and spiritual oneness. So be it. May all be blessed. Now be aware of your feet, your hands, and the base of your spine. Just project golden light down into the earth. This helps ground us. Let our beloved Mother Earth be blessed with divine light, divine love, and divine power. Let our beloved Mother Earth be healed, regenerated, and revitalized. Blessings to Mother Earth. So be it, and so it is. Okay, let's give thanks and use whatever prayer you like to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, to all the saints of all traditions, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Tuakok Sui Mahaguru Jimening, thank you for divine light, love, guidance, help, and protection. Thank you. In full faith, and so it is. All right. Observe your thoughts and emotions. You know, this is very quiet and very clear. So if you do these meditations over and over and over again, each time we meditate, you're flushing out the cloud of thoughts and emotions that we accumulate, including the ones of anger, resentment, stress. You flush it out. From here, if you look back at the people who have hurt you, you go, yeah, some of them, I could see that, yeah, it was really bad. Some of them, maybe I acted too hastily. And next time when we talk, because I know every time we talk about forgiveness, letting go, people always say, yeah, but you don't understand. If I forgive, they'll abuse me, blah, 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 so on and so on. So next time I'll just share with you what my teacher shared with us before, which is knowing the difference between inner forgiveness and outer forgiveness. To just give you a preview, inner forgiveness means we understand and we know every soul is evolving and evolution involves mistakes. In fact, my teacher said, you don't want to make mistakes, don't bother evolving. It's part of growth. So, as a soul, as a spiritual being, we forgive all. That allows you to sleep at night. Externally, you might have to get a restraining order. You might have to act tough. No, I'm not going to take this. But internally, you can sleep. Internally, spiritually, forgive them. Externally, you have to say, hey, I'm not going to take this. So you get the best of both worlds. It's just like saying, internally, I forgive you. Externally, there are boundaries. So you get to have inner peace. You can sleep at night. You're able to move on. And you have order in your life. So we'll talk about that next time. All right. Namaste, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. And we will see you in the next Anchor to Light. And just in case you're expecting it, this Friday, I have a previous commitment. So next time we'll see you for Anchor to Light will be this coming Monday. By the way, the full moon meditation is still on. You just go to mastercode.org. You click on it. It'll take you to a sign-up page. And people sometimes ask me, hey, how come you don't have it on social media? Why don't you have it on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube? Well, a few times already, we've done meditations, and some of you would complain, hey, how come part of you, I don't hear you anymore? Well, it's the algorithm. Sometimes, I don't know, they think I'm saying something that goes against the rules of something, and they go, oh, part of what you do is copyrighted. I'm not even singing. And when you have those full meditations, you know, I want to be able to share as much as I can without being censored. That's why. Okay? So I hope you understand. I know people say, hey, you know, I have to sign up. Well, you choose. We have it publicly, but I can't fully share what I need to share with you, so you get the most out of it. Or you're part of a community where whatever is guiding me to share with you, I don't have to worry about being censored or muted, or sometimes we had people where it just shut off because, anyway, who cares? That's that. All right? Namaste, everyone. You all take care, and we will see you in the next Anchor Light. God bless. And the full moon meditation, it's quite intense. And it's 3 meditations, 3 full moons. Aries, Taurus, this is Gemini, the distribution part. Okay? See you then. Take care. Bye-bye.